Hello students, today we will learn about some important chemical compounds. Let's talk about what are they. First one we will learn about NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. What is the other name of this NaOH is caustic soda. Another one you can see that we will be learning about NaCl, that is sodium chloride. The name other than sodium chloride, we can see that common salt, or we can say that it is a table salt. Another one is your bleaching powder. The formula is calcium oxychloride, that is CaOCl2. The name is bleaching powder. Two more are there, that is sodium bicarbonate, very well known as baking soda. Also we can see that washing soda, it is also a very important chemical compound, Na2CO3 dot 10H2O, because it is having a water of crystallization, that is why we will put 10H2O. Name is washing soda. Another examples are calcium sulfate, that is your plaster of Paris, and gypsum. What is the formula of plaster of Paris? That is calcium sulfate dot half H2O. And what is the name? That is calcium sulfate hemihydrate. And what is gypsum? Gypsum is calcium sulfate dot 2H2O. So what is the name? Calcium sulfate dihydrate. So these are some chemical compounds we will learn in detail. Let's talk about first one, that is sodium chloride. We can see that it is an ionic salt. So we can write that it is an ionic compound, commonly called as table salt. Why table salt? Because we used to serve this salt on table, so it is a common ingredient also for daily purpose, that is for food flavor we are using in food flavoring. Okay, and you can say it as a common salt also, because day to day life we are using this salt. Occurrence, if we talk about occurrence of this NaCl, then we can see that it is generally occurring in seawater, inland lakes, rock salt, and many more are there. These are general occurrence or the sources from where we can get this NaCl. Next one is your properties of this sodium chloride. So what are the general properties of the sodium chloride? First one is it is soluble in water. You can see that whenever you dissolve this NaCl in water, it is completely soluble, but not in all the solution. So that liquids, it is not completely soluble. Only in case of water, it is completely soluble. Another property is it is a colorless crystal. If you see the crystals of NaCl, you will find that these are colorless crystals. do not have any odor, do not have any odor, but have a characteristic taste. So you can write it possesses taste. Another property you can write that on heating it produces crackling sound. Produces crackling sound. This is a very different kind of property of producing crackling sound. Another property very important, that is it is hygroscopic in nature. Hygroscopic means it can easily absorb the water present in the atmosphere. So hygroscopic in nature. That means easily absorbs moisture or water present in the air or atmosphere. Another property you can write that in its aqueous state, this NaCl get ionized and it is a very good conductor of electricity due to the movement of ions, that is sodium ion and chloride ion. It has a melting point of 820 degree centigrade or Celsius. So you can see that it is having a very much amount of melting point. That means at this point only it will start melting. Otherwise it will remain in solid state only. Let's check about the preparation of sodium chloride. How we can prepare this? Let's take an example. Suppose if you have taken sodium in its elemental state and chloride, that you will be finding that NaCl is formed. Now if you balance it, you will put 2 here and 2. It will be balanced. Also we can obtain this NaCl by NaOH plus HCl. Then we will be getting NaCl plus water. Let's talk about some uses of NaCl. Very commonly, it is used as a food preservative. You have seen that we are adding NaCl in food. Why? Because it is acting as a preservative for our food and keep that food long time very good for eating. So you can see that it is having a very good use. Also it is a flavor enhancer. We are adding in food. Without this salt, the food is just not, you can see we cannot eat it because it will not taste good. Another use, we can see that it is used in glass production. So wherever is the production of glass, there it is used as an ingredient. Also we can see that as a raw material we can use this NaCl for the manufacture of sodium carbonate, sodium hydrogen carbonate. Also some more are there. For hydrochloric acid also you can use. For NaOH also we can use this NaCl for the manufacture of these chemicals. Let's talk about NaOH. We can see that this NaOH is commonly known as caustic soda and its chemical name is sodium hydroxide. How can we prepare this? Let's take a reaction to understand this. Preparation of NaOH. It is generally prepared by chlor-alkali process. What is this process? In this process, electrolysis of brine solution takes place. Brine solution. What is brine solution? It is nothing but the aqueous solution of NaCl. So whenever you put water in NaCl and you just dissolve it, the solution you are getting is your brine solution. So with the use of this brine solution, you can easily prepare the NaOH. How? Let's study about this. This process takes place when an electricity is passed through the concentrated solution of brine solution. Brine solution. What will happen? Then this NaCl will be actually decomposed to form sodium hydroxide and chlorine plus hydrogen. How? If you take NaCl and water to make the solution aqueous, and that aqueous solution will be your brine solution, then you will be getting this reaction, that is NaOH plus hydrogen plus chloride. That means you will be get chlorine. That means you will be getting two type of gases here. That is hydrogen gas and chlorine gas, and one product, that is your sodium hydroxide. How it is happening? It is actually happening when you provide electric current to this solution. Normally this won't occur. You have to provide the electric current, then only it will take place. How? Let's take a diagram to understand this. In this diagram, we will be taking a container in which we will keep NaCl and water. So this will become our solution, that is your brine solution. Now we will be putting the electrodes in this solution. Two electrodes, one will be your cathode and another will be your anode. This will be, suppose, is a negative electrode, then this will be positive electrode. Now if we connect the battery with this, then our circuit will be completed. Now if we just supply this electric current to the solution, then what will be there? Let's draw it. NaCl plus water. Then what will happen here? This NaCl at cathode reaction will take place, that is your hydrogen will gain the electron. Why? Because it is a negative electrode, so it will just gain the electrons and it is acquiring positive ion, and we will be getting the H2 gas at cathode. What about your anode? At anode you will be getting this chlorine ion minus 2 electron, because it will lose the electron. Why? Because it is a positive electrode, and there what will happen? A loss of electron will be happening, so it will be Cl2. So here you can see that this at cathode your gain of electron is taking place, and what is gain of electron? That is called as oxidation, and that is oil. Okay, so gain of electron is gain of electron is reduction. So here at cathode you will be getting the reduction. So you can see that reduction is happening over here, and at anode you will be getting the oxidation. Why? There is a loss of electron taking place at anode, and you will be getting the hydrogen and chloride ion. Now from where this hydrogen and chloride ion we have got, we can see this Na will become Na plus, Cl will become Cl minus. And what about this hydrogen, water? H plus and OH minus ion we will be getting. Now, what will happen? This hydrogen ion will actually migrate towards this negative electrode, and this chloride ion will actually migrate towards the positive electrode. Why? Because of the opposite charges, they will be attracted towards the opposite electrodes. Now, why not sodium ion is getting attracted towards this negative electrode? It will attract, but due to the highest mobility of the hydrogen ion, it will actually not reach as much as fast than the hydrogen ion. So it will, what it will do, it will actually attach with the hydroxide ion present in the solution only, and it will be forming a NaOH. Okay, and now what about this hydrogen? It will be collecting here at negative electrode, and you will be getting this hydrogen ions, plus it will gain the electron and it will become hydrogen gas. So you will be getting hydrogen gas. And what about this chloride? It will actually lose its electron at the positive electrode, and it will be converting into chlorine gas. So in this way, you can see that we will be getting the NaOH. So this is the process known as chlor-alkali process. Why it is known as chlor-alkali? Because here you can see that the overall reaction is NaCl plus water gives you NaOH, which is your alkali, and chlor, that means chlorine gas. So for to this major products are forming. So this is known as chlor-alkali process. So this you have to make sure that whenever this type of question is related this chlor-alkali process, you have to make it sure that it is asked for the sodium hydroxide or the preparation for sodium hydroxide. Now, let's talk about some uses of sodium hydroxide, hydrogen gas, and chlorine gas. Let's talk about the uses of NaOH. If we talk about uses of NaOH, we can see that it is usually used in the soaps and detergents manufacturing. Also, we can use it in paper industry, in laboratory reagents as a laboratory reagents. It is widely used. Also in petroleum refining. It is having a wider use. Also in the manufacture of artificial fibers, that is your synthetic fibers. Also we can have an use of this NaOH. Let's talk about the uses of chlorine. Chlorine is generally used as a chemical disinfectant. Also, we can see that in manufacturing of many chemicals, for example, bleaching powder, we can see that it is widely used as an ingredient in making pesticides. It is having a good application. Also, it is mixed in swimming pool, mixed with swimming swimming pool water to disinfectant the water. Also, as a chemical disinfectant, we can use this for the water which we are using for the drinking purposes. So these are some of the commonly uses of this. Also, it is having a major application in making PVC, that is your polyvinyl chloride. It is a polymer, it is a type of polymer. So we can manufacture such kind of polymers also with the use of chlorine. Let's talk about the uses of hydrogen. Hydrogen is basically used for the hydrogenation purposes of fats or vegetable oil. How? Because this hydrogen, when added to the vegetable oil, it will actually just break the bonds, that is double or triple bond, that is unsaturated bonds which are present between the atoms of oil, and it will convert it into simpler form. So it is having a wide use over there. As a fuel also, you can use this hydrogen in the production of HCl. It is very commonly used, that is hydrochloric acid. We can use this hydrogen. So these are some of the uses.